what was most interesting is actually to have people tell me, well, you can't do that. I go, what do you mean you can't do that? I said, there's no way that you can do benevolent capitalism. Capitalism is a terrible thing in which it oppresses the masses. Well, that was supposed to be in the beginning. It was supposed to serve the masses to create more for them to have. So benevolent capitalism is about the idea that if you do as little harm as you can and you create for the future, a greater possibility can show up.
Most people have already got judgments about what they think capitalism is. And we've had the same sort of conversations over the intervening month, where every time someone has said, that can't be so, I'm not a capitalist, you could see immediately that they were locking themselves up for actually being a contribution to their business, other businesses, and the earth.
The difficulty I see is that when people say they're not a capitalist, so what are you? A socialist, a communist, or an anarchist, or what? What is your political affiliation, basically? Because people, unfortunately, identify capitalism as a political point of view, which it actually isn't. Capitalism is really about how to create more money and more possibility in your life. And if you look from the point of view of possibility and money, it's a different world.
Yeah, I find this really interesting because when you go back into the mid-1800s, when the whole capitalist system was starting to be created, the first people that started developing up the idea of capitalism said it is all about choice, and it's all about growth, and it's all about the individual. So capitalism has been, until about 1960, 1970, when some of the economists took it over, capitalism has always been about individual choice and individual growth, which includes money but does not exclude anything else either. Yet most people now are seeing capitalism as something where rape, pillage, large corporates, that's because we've bought into points of view of other people. If you go back to what is the energy behind capitalism, it's about individual growth, individual wealth, individual choice, and then you tie onto that the benevolence, which comes from an ancient Latin word, which really means about wishing well. Bene is well, exactly. Vale is wish. So the whole notion of wishing well for individual growth and choice and you know, how could you argue with that unless you bought into other people's points of view about it?
That capitalism is just the value neutral. The people who actually buy into that system, they can do conscious, unconscious, or anti-conscious. So if they have an anti-conscious person being a capitalist, then it's anti-conscious capitalism.
That's the way I would see it. And unfortunately, what too many people have identified is that capitalism is about control. Capitalism in a free market situation should not be about control. Do our companies try to create control? Yeah. Does it work? Actually not. And it's like most companies who have done this destroy themselves because they think that there's no need to change. And a true capitalist is somebody who's willing to change on a dime because they know this thing is not working. And that's the other part of capitalism that people have to get is like, you're a capitalist if you're able to change easily. I mean, the socialist and the communist, how easy is change for those kind of monetary systems?
Yeah, they don't allow change. They don't allow individualism. And it's all about for the common good as long as you agree with my definition and conclusion of what the common good is.
Yes, and the thing about capitalism is there's always a door open for you to create or generate something different. So benevolent capitalism would be to wish everyone well in the way in which you do business, and not to do it from the point of view of you can't have it, or you can't do it, or I'm the only one.